Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
What up, it's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you tune into World Combat Sports.
What's good, everyone? Salute to the supporters that's on deck in the building. You already know what's going on the boulevard, man, with another one. Y'all see the comments in the chat, man. Let me get to them right quick. Shout out to the Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. What's good with the Blunts? Big Blunts on deck. King Mitch on deck. Plenty of fighters have been ranked in 2 divisions. Comeback gonna give Danny hell anyways. I never said no one had been ranked in 2 divisions. We're gonna get to it though. LOL King Mitch comeback definitely about to dip him in the grease real quick. Hey, Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, aka Showtime Shaw Team Tucker in the building. What's good, man? Yes, you already know. You see the title. Danny Garcia ranked in 2 divisions. And we're going to get to the second half when the YTC capping goes wrong. We always have to address the YTC capping because sanitation and policing your own is mandatory. Okay? So let's talk about the one and only DSG. For some reason, some dudes be supporting light-skinned dudes all the time. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to boxing. I'm not saying that's Mitch. I'm not saying that. I'm just looking at it like, I guess they bruise easy. And they look worse when they in fights that they weren't supposed to win. And they just showed up. But Danny Garcia is a 2-weight world champion. I salute him. 37 victories, 3 defeats, 21 knockouts. And in those 3 defeats, he's never been stopped, okay? He's 34 years old. He's getting a little bit older in his career. And, truth be told, all I want to do is just highlight some shit. That's all. It's always good to elucidate on some shit, provide more in-depth clarification. That's all I'm trying to do, man. That's all I'm trying to do. I need clarification on some things. All right. So when DSG fought Ivan Redkach, okay, this is Danny Garcia. All right. He fought Ivan Redkach and went the distance. This is the fighter that Regis Prograis just demolished, right? He made him quit, pull a Amir Khan, got him up out of there on the stretcher, to the damn locker room, in the showers, out to the club. He went the distance with him, right? And then in December 2020, he fought Errol Spence Jr., the infamous Errol Spence Jr., who said he didn't need a tune-up, but he needed a best friend when he came back. So who did he seek out? Danny Swift Garcia. He was swift to sign the contract and went in there and got beat up for 12 rounds. Then, all of a sudden, he moves up to 154 and fight a common opponent of Terrence Crawford and Jose Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? The only man to defeat Jose Benavidez up to that point was Terrence Crawford, the pound-for-pound best king in boxing. For Danny Garcia, though, he went up there and he fought like his career depended on it. I was saying to myself, that's the Danny Garcia, I was kind of wishing that showed up against Errol Spence. Yeah, for real. And we didn't get that. We was deprived of that because he went in there to move around. So he went up to 54 and got the job done with Jose. That was his first fight up there, with Jose Benavidez, right? And he was catapulted into the rankings at 54 just based off one fight, no title. When he was leaving the welterweight division, he just showed up. Hey, how you doing? Do you have my welcome aboard package, please? All right, thank you very much. Where am I going to be staying? Okay, in the suite up there? Okay, cool. Is there any way you can, send them up? I just want to order some food for later on. Maybe some filet mignon, caviar, something like that. Okay, cool. And I want some fresh water too. Yeah. So they rolled out the red carpet for DSG after coming off a freaking beating from Errol Spence. I want you to let that just sit. A beating. Not only that, 2 fights prior to Ivan Redkach, he had stepped in there with Sean Porter to attempt to gather the WBC, the vacant WBC World Welterweight title, and he failed. Right? So when I heard the news this man was up there fighting Jose Benavidez, I said, okay, it's not bad. I don't dislike the Benavidez. I think he's a tough dude. He just was dealt a bad hand in his life, being shot in the leg the way he did, and in the process of being this highly touted fighter. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of promise to him. Real talk. And he's older than his brother, which his brother is bigger, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But the question mark comes to me, right? It really comes to me in such a way where it becomes a bit strange, a bit odd. They have Danny Garcia up here ranked in 2 divisions. Now, I always talk about the hocus pocus of boxing because that shit exists. The hocus pocus of boxing exists, people. And I'm wondering, why is it existing right now? What does it benefit for Danny Garcia to be ranked in the 154-pound division and to be ranked in the 160-pound division? Now, I don't know if you're trying to predict which way I'm going to turn with this, but I'm just trying to figure out some troubleshooting as to what's the landing point for Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, in his professional career, he hasn't went up to 160 pounds before, right? When I'm looking at this right here, and I see him ranked at 154-pound division, I don't scoff at it. I just say, okay, you know what I'm saying? I really don't even, feel no type of way. I don't squinch, you know what I'm saying? I don't grip, and make a ball fist. I don't feel no type of way about it. It's nothing that's going on here. I say, okay, they want to give him freaking the red carpet at 54, cool. Then I look at this right here. A division that is considered the closet of boxing. This is the 160-pound division. There's activity in there. You know what I'm saying? There's activity in the division. But it's not where people go to visit. The tourists kind of stay away from the 160-pound division. They drive the business route and go around that motherfucker. And they don't really try to come anywhere close to it. Seriously. But when I seen this dude ranked in the WBA, he ain't just ranked. He ranked in the top 10. I try to always tell people that when boxing wants to move a fighter in the ranking system, they can very well do so without that fighter actually so-called earning a spot to be in that position. This holds true for Danny Garcia. He's ranked within the top 10, y'all. The top 10 in the middleweight division in the WBA sanctioning body. Anybody besides myself seem a bit perturbed? Do you feel some type of way about Danny Garcia jumping the line Even though I'm not here to defend the fighters that he jumped the line for at 160 pounds, because listen, if I was to call off the name of these fighters, you wouldn't really know who they are. You wouldn't really give a damn about trying to find out who they are. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, forget that, man. You know, I ain't know anybody. No. So they moved Danny Garcia well comfortably inside the top 10, bro, in the WBA sanctioning body. And I thought to myself, it's certain information that I get, I don't really pay no attention to. And then people saying that they're trying to make Danny Garcia Erislandy Lara. And this is the twist and turn of it. I don't really care if they make Erislandy Lara with Danny Garcia. All this says is the information that I put out when it comes to the sport of boxing, right? They can pretty much manipulate and puppetize whatever they want. They can put on a show. If they want the curtains open, they'll open the curtains, man, and give you a freaking show. And you say, where did this come from? It just puzzles me that other fighters not able to move like we see shit going on like this. Like this man is coming off an L from Errol Spence Jr. He moves up coming off that L and picks up a W with Jose Benavidez. In the process, they're trying to plan a fight in a division where he's never competed as a professional in his career. And this fight may happen and people may tune into it because of their styles. But this is at 160. And WCS is saying, why can't anybody else make moves like this in boxing to get fights with certain fighters that's at the top of the hierarchy? If indeed this is true, that they're trying to plan and arrange this meeting at 160 with Danny Garcia, why isn't it happening on a recurring basis? Why isn't this an omnipresence to get fights going on, to activate the 160-pound division? Why isn't there other fighters that can move and groove like Danny Garcia is going? What's going on with Danny? Why is he so special coming off a loss at the welterweight division and then pick up a win in super welterweight and blessed to move within the top 10? And this is all without a strap. This is all without a chip. How is this possible? In the hocus pocus of boxing, magic is everything, y'all. It's all about the magic. Whoever they choose to selectively, give a push in the back and edge them to the front or whatever they're trying to make, whoever they consider a corporate or a company fighter, situations like this can occur. And fighters need to be aware of that. Am I feeling some type of way about Danny Garcia doing this? No. It just proves my point in how fighters can be finessed up the freaking ranking system without actual credential building, without any type of, current activity. What have you done for me lately type of situation? You know what I'm saying? He hasn't did anything. He hasn't fought anybody special. He hasn't sit up here and fought for any title recently. But if by chance in 2 to 3 fights, let's just say another 2 fights, he's up there fighting Erislandy Lara, well, it's going to seem a little bit weird to some of the people because they're going to sit up there and ask too many questions. No, don't ask yourself too many questions. Don't beat yourself up over it. Just understand that's the hocus pocus of boxing, man. It's magic everywhere. It depends on if you're the person that they want to be the trick. That's all. If you are qualified to be the trick, then they will help you get to where you need to be. Or whatever their trick is going to be, they will help you get there. But there's nobody going to tell me out of all these fighters that Danny Garcia, of all people, is moving up and potentially may fight at 160 for a championship. So I guess what I said about Errol Spence and Jamel Charlo, it doesn't sit with people right. But you see people like Danny Garcia moving up 2 weight division and potentially have the opportunity to fight for a freaking 3rd division championship. You don't see where I was going with it. And this was months ago. Because I tell you, when it comes to black people doing business and moving like this and getting something done that can benefit a career, they don't want to do it. Especially it being an in-house fight. But Danny Garcia is moving up 2 divisions. He's moving up 2 divisions, man. And they're going to place him in a position that potentially he can fight for a 3rd division off the strength of absolutely nothing except stepping in the ring, winning, and that's it. Nothing too special. He didn't fight a current reigning defending champion. He just went up there. They put him in there with the former welterweight contender. You know what I'm saying? He did it. He got the job done. In the process, back behind the scenes and everything else, they're trying to set up something for him for a title fight. Who am I to be mad? I'm just looking at it like, damn. You know, who would have seen this type of curriculum take place? Who put this assignment on the docket? Real talk. Who put this assignment on the docket? And this shit just playing out. Like this wasn't even on the chalkboard. They just put this into play. And that's it. You know, it's almost like walking into the classroom and you walk to you sit down at your desk and the assignment's right there. And this is not what the teacher told you that was going to be Friday before you left class. This is Monday. It's like, what? You didn't tell us anything. You didn't give us a courtesy ahead of time to let us know that we was about to get something like this. Like we haven't even been taught on this. How should we gauge this type of information? How do you gauge a fighter moving up from a division and then to another division and placed in the ranking systems with no merit to vouch for it? Like, how did he advance in such a manner off a loss, a beating, a 12-round beating from Spence? And how much appraisal does Jose Benavidez has, being out the sport as long as he was, coming back and fighting at 160? You know what I'm saying? How much appraising value does it go to your boxing FICO to fight a Jose Benavidez? Please, somebody help me understand that shit. Does it increase your boxing FICO? I mean, do anybody know that? I'm not sure, bro. This shit is wild, man. And dealing with this, you know, just seeing stuff play out, and you wonder to yourself, like, this is kind of stuff I speak on, but people act like it's unattainable. It's attainable. You just gotta find out the way to make it accessible to you. These fighters be moving and grooving and doing these things. It's not black fighters, though. I'm just saying. It's just not, bro. Hot Grease Chronicles, we on deck. It's fight week. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I have money on deck. Dan, the best Puerto Rican fight since Trinidad. You know, like, I understand some people get out of church late on Sundays, and, you know, some of these then, you know, chapels or whatever, they serve real life liquor. And some people leave church and get on here, and they still may be a little bit intoxicated. I get it. You know what I'm saying? The best fighter, Puerto Rican fighter since Tito Trinidad. Wow. That's a bold statement right there. But kudos to the Puerto Rican fighters. This has nothing to do with Puerto Rico. This has everything to do with the why. The how. You know what I'm saying? The why and the how. That's what it has to deal with me. I'm just trying to find out, how did this whole plan come together? Like the 18, I love when a plan come together. How are they able to move like this? And it's not just him moving up to 60. It's the fact that when he lost at welterweight, he stayed up there in the top 5? He stayed there. I can't make this up. This dude stayed there, man. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No drama, no debating. They kept him there, man. They kept him there. He comes off a loss with Sean Porter. They keep him there. You know why? Because they wanted him to be there for Errol Spence. So they found out, okay, just to do a backup plan right here, keep him around. You know, boom. He ended up stepping into the ring with Errol Spence, man, for 12 rounds of bludgeon. You know what I'm saying? Of straight assault. They got Danny ranked at 160, never fought at the weight. That's what I'm trying to see Showtime. Maybe you, being that you're associated and attached with a team as immediate marking and aging, maybe when you was in the trenches, you overheard a sidebar conversation that you can present in the chat and say, you know what, that's not the first time I seen this shit. I've seen this before. It's possible. It's possible, not, you know, off the fact that Danny Garcia is up there, but this is how that process works. Maybe you overheard a sidebar conversation that you can present to the chat. That's all. I'm all about getting educated because I really can't figure it out. I really can't figure it out. And I don't want to, you know, place an inquiry into the search engine and read up all the results because that's not what I'm looking for. I just know this dude has done absolutely zero to be placed in the top 10 at 160 pounds. And this guy was not a champion when he left the welterweight division. When he resigned from the welterweight division, y'all. I mean, am I right or wrong? What we going on? What we got going on? It's been a long time since he was champ. It's been a long time since he was champ. It's been a long time since 2016 when he fought Robert Guerrero, bro. Let that hit you just like a double shot of Everclear. Let that just sit with you on an empty stomach while you put that Everclear down the pipe and you realize, oh, I done fucked up. 2016, y'all. That was the time that he won a championship. He had a single defense, y'all, with Samuel Vargas and lost it against one-time Keith Thurman. The last time he won a championship was in 2016, and that was for the vacant title. So you trying to tell me if you win a title that many years back and up through the chain of command, you lose to the big names like Thurman, you lose to the big names of Porter, you definitely lose to the big names Errol Spence, and then you are able to place your resignation papers and gain entry into the 154-pound division and fight another guy who's been extremely intermittent in his last several fights and wasn't a champion either. How does this work, man? How does this work? Like, you got to listen to what I'm asking you, man. Like, listen, you're having these fighters move around a certain way and no one has the answers as to how they're doing it. But yet we have all this foolishness going on YTC with fighters, with black fighters, that is not really encouraging to their career. I don't see them want to make moves like DSG. You know, my criticism isn't all bad, but I'm just asking myself, what the fuck did he do? Like, I mean, how do I come up with the answers to know how he's about to be situated and step in the ring with Erislandy Lara for a potential third division championship, man? It's wild, bro. That shit wild. Let me get back to the chat, man. Key Miss says, shit, Queen Cap was ranked at 140 for pulling up little ass Fortuna and Tago. That's just one division, though. He can be ranked in a division, right? But we all know what's going on with Ryan Garcia. They trying to move him. Look, it's somewhat partially, like I said, Latino fighter. It's somewhat partially what's going on with Danny Garcia. And that's a solid example. He's moving up one division, and he's ranked high. Off the strength of what? A WBC interim championship? Which he didn't even activate. He didn't even want to activate it. Off the Duck Masters Coalition, bro. Mauricio Herrera put hands on Danny Garcia. The wrong guy got the nod that night. We know how boxing, the hocus pocus of boxing is. We definitely know how that works. But I'm just trying to put it out there, right? That I'm just trying to find answers as to how he's able to move like this. And this has been scenarios that I talk about on how certain fighters can move at the same way. I'm talking about the same exact way that DSG is able to move into a title. But when it comes to us, it just don't go down like that. Like, it's crazy. Like, you'll see stuff play out with Danny Garcia, and people don't pay it no mind. Look, they don't even pay it no mind, bro. They don't even do it. They can care less to do a video on it, a live stream, whatever. They don't care. How's this dude about to get a freaking potential title shot of the 3rd division? 2 weight class up. And no one's even saying anything about it like that. It's not even being spoke on, man. If Danny is ranked at 160, the rumblings I've been hearing about a lower matchup must be accurate. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying, Mitch. Absolutely accurate from what I'm hearing. But I'm going to keep it in rumor mill status until I see a couple of more fights take place and then take it from there. Showtime said Danny ranked at 160 is straight cap. Cap. No belts at 154. Lost to every champion at 147 he faced, but they hey, what do I know? Real talk. Truth be told, again and again, from start to finish, he beats nobody. He left the division after winning his only title in 2016 against Robert Guerrero. Defended it once and lost it to Keith one time Thurman. Bro. And they're sliding this guy into the middleweight division, which is nothing going on. And I just said, okay, why don't Crawford move up there and try to face Gennady? Why don't he start calling some people out of 160 instead of 154? It's nothing going on in that division. But yet Danny Garcia would be the first one out of the welterweight to do it? Like, I'm not saying period. I'm saying what we know in this era with the guys, the top names that we know. Keith Thurman haven't thought about it. Sean Porter haven't thought about it. Errol Spence haven't thought about it, except when he tried to call out and his name was on the list for Canelo to slaughter his ass. Bud haven't said anything about it except 54. Got to give him credit. He did say he want to step up there and fight Jermell Charlo at 54. But you trying to tell me in maybe the next year or so, DSG is going to be fighting for a title at 160? But none of these other fighters can make that move like that? That makes no sense at all, man. It's not supposed to sit up here and go unanswered. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to go so innocent. People are supposed to be questioning, like, how is this happening? Why is it happening? Andrew Charles on deck. Salute. What's good, Andrew? This happens all the time. A guy appears in the rankings, just never really happens for the guys people want to happen for. Mitch, I'm not talking about people, bro. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about Danny Garcia, bro. I'm not talking about people. Did I say it never happened? Did I say I didn't like the way it happened? I'm just trying to figure out of the welterweight division, just what I've been saying. What is the premise behind it, please? Just please provide me a little bit of clarification. Just slide the envelope to me. I'll read it under the table, and then I'll be fine. I mean, somebody just wish. Okay, what? Yeah, okay. Oh, I got it. I understand now. I'm just trying to find out. He signed over at PBC, right? I'm just trying to find out, how does that move work? Because Danny Garcia is on the backside of his career, but he's about to move up 2 divisions and face a freaking fighter in Arislandi Laura for a championship in the near future. Wow, this must be nice. That's a concierge service I always look for in my life. Jason Rosario ranked 3 spots under Danny. Look, Jason Rosario, once again, that's a Latino fighter, right? And I can't say that's just all Latino fighters, because they kept Sean Porter, who was a company guy, around at the top when he was doing what he was doing too. But Jason Rosario said he was moving back down to 154. He did get stopped at 160, so he's whatever. He ain't the topic though. Laura looking for names and money fights. I guess Danny will suffice. I'll take that. I guess Danny will suffice. But yet they want to argue about Bud Crawford, a person a guy who has 5 title defenses, right? They want to argue that he ain't a ticket seller when Danny ain't sold no tickets either. But people will look at it like, well, I guess Laura want a money fight. How is Danny Garcia a money fight except for his name and who he lost to at the welterweight division? How did he become popular? He became popular off the 40. He did some things down at 140. But him fighting for a vacant title, moving up with 2 catchweight fights in between that, 40 and 47. Lamont Peterson and Saka or whatever, I think. I mean, he did minimal. I mean, without being so critical, I'm just saying, for him to be considered in your conversation as a fighter that will bring another fighter a money fight, it's incredible, dog. Shout out to my guy, Mr. Gumbo, a.k.a. Hot Grease, on deck. Salute that WCS, my OG brother in chat. Salute to you, OG. How you feeling, man? You already know. Appreciate you pulling up on the boulevard, man. Cooking with Sir Senior. Salute everyone finally home. Keep cooking, bro. No doubt, man. Appreciate you, Sir Senior, for pulling up, man. Plus, say, well, the main question is, and hopefully your daughter is doing well, bro. I know that life, man. I know it. I see you young brothers up there taking care of your young ones. I remember that day, man. I remember when my belly was empty and my kid belly was full, and they was up there smiling, and I was looking for some air to eat. Well, the main question we hear when it comes to hocus pocus magic is, how did they do that? LOL, can anybody tell me how they did it with DSG? Obviously, my question is the conversation and how was he nominated for this position? That's all. It's just like, you're in a company, you've been there for a while, and you expecting a promotion, but somebody else comes out of nowhere who's been in the same company, they get promoted way ahead of you. And you're like, how did they happen? I know I'm qualified. Is it because Danny Garcia, he's used to his chin moving in the direction of 12-6? Is he a yes man? How do they like him so much with just a subpar performance in the welterweight division? How? He's about to get a chance to fight him in a weight class, 2 weight classes up. Some can say 1 weight class now that he's fought Jose Benavidez, but hey. Pop on deck. Danny, one of their favorites. They're going to always like out of him. I know he one of the favorites, Pop, but what I'm trying to say is the reasoning behind it. Why can't other fighters be able to maneuver themselves into that position? They're qualified to do so. Is it because Danny has that chin effect, the 12-6 chin effect, and he nods. Yep, he nods. All right. Has he been a company man? You know what I'm saying? Is it the fact that Danny's a company man and somebody promised him something? Seriously, did somebody promise him something? Just like Avni Yildirim was promised to step back in the ring with Canelo? Was it the fact that, they was just providing him, say, hey, we're going to look out for you. We promise you that. Hey, I told you we're going to look out for you. Really, at the end of the day, those people that's making decisions like this with Danny Garcia, and it's a bit weird, they don't care what we think. But my biggest question mark is no one's really talking about it like that. Like, it's almost like it doesn't seem strange to anybody else that DSG has made this incredible move to 1 and 2 divisions, and he's ranked. He's ranked in the top 10. Quality of a performance, quality of competition, significance of their bouts, a positive record, style experience in eliminations, or championship bouts, and positive TV exposure are factors in rankings. Look, Mitch, all due respect, I know that y'all have access to home keys, and within those home keys, phonetically, you can create sentences to put increase into search engines. I get it. Dude, you're giving me producer notes. I'm talking about the shit that's natural. Like the natural misunderstanding that I'm trying to figure out. I'm not talking about producer notes. I'm not talking about the inquiries that you get a reply and they give you the information and you put that in there. That tells me nothing. We and everybody in the chat, Mitch, can tell who Danny has fought at welterweight division. So you're trying to tell me quality of performances has something to do with his advancement from 54 to 60? The quality of performances now? His loss to Sean Porter, his loss to Keith Thurman, quality of performance? Or you going to praise him for stopping Brandon Rios and stopping Adrian Granados? People, clap it up. Clap it up. Adrian Granados and Brandon Rios. Oh, clap that shit up. Quality of performance. Quality of competition. Oh, clap it up again. Shit. When the big names you done stepped in there with, they are registering Lima on the right side of your ledger. Clap it up for quality of competition. Significance of their bouts. Man, Danny did what a lot of other people did. Nothing special. You know what I'm saying? He did step in there with some big names, but goddamn, you ain't winning against the big names. And then your last big names, you get pummeled. Championship bouts. So, should we consider the Robert Ghost Guerrero, right? Samuel Vargas. You're talking about championship bouts only. Should we consider, like, when he was actually reigning champion? So, winning the title from Ghost Guerrero and Samuel Vargas, he defended it. That's 2. All right? And then you go to Keith Thurman, right? That's 3 championship bouts. He loses to Keith Thurman. Then, do we say it's a championship bout just because he's a challenger? Okay, let's do that. 4. He didn't win against Sean Porter. Let's just keep going up there. And then he gets the opportunity with Errol Spence, because we all know the WBC silver welterweight doesn't matter by anything. So you're talking about out of the 5, he went 2 for 5. He beat Robert Guerrero and defended against Samuel Vargas. That's 2 out of the 5, right? That's where he was in the green. Robert Guerrero and Samuel Vargas. I'm not going to give him credit for Keith Thurman. He lost that fight. He lost that fight for the vacant WBC with Sean Porter. He lost that fight with dang Errol Spence Jr. So I understand the producer notes. I understand. It's easy to type that shit into the search engine, abuse that motherfucker, and goddamn not be punished for it, Mitch. I get it. You do that shit again, I'm putting you on timeout, dog. I'm going to put your ass on timeout now. You up here typing and copy and paste now. We better than this over here. We better than this now. If you're going to give me a 6-line paragraph, make it in your own words, brother. Make it in your own words. That is called producer notes. You're taking shit, copying and pasting, and putting in damn input, man. Now I want you to go off your own words, brother. You know what I'm saying? Big Blunt say, my nigga King naturally searched that shit online. He did, man. And Mitch know better, dog. I'm real talk. He knows better. I don't know why he trying to damn slide that shit in here and give me producer. I don't want to hear shit that has to do with producer notes, online, search engine type inquiries and replies. None of that, man. Tell me deep down inside, like, how can this shit happen with DSG? That's all. And let's just say he goes up there and he wins. He beats Erislandy Lara, right? Because he looked pretty decent in there at a heavier weight. He looked decent against Jose. He looked pretty decent. I wish he would have fought that way against Spence, though. But let's just say he goes in there and win against Lara. I mean, what is it going to do? Who else is he going to fight? Triple G? That's when Terrence Crawford should definitely go up there. Hey, I want to fight DSG right now. At 160? Yeah, 160. Why? He did it. I'm going to do it too. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. I see fighters do that shit in mixed martial arts all the time. They move up multiple divisions and fight, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it hasn't happened in boxing. Like I tell you, Adrian Broner went from 35 to 47. He did, man. He did. We seen Mikey Garcia, the infamous Mikey Garcia, do it. We seen people move up in weight. But all I'm saying is, per the producer notes that Mitch put in the chat, why doesn't it happen more often? And what is the criteria for which it happens? Are you just going to be a company man? Or what? Like, I guess you got to be in between, man. You got to have a name. You have to have graced the square with some champions or whatever, even though you lost all of them damn near. He lost every freaking title, he was trying to contend for from an active champion. He won the vacant title, but everyone he was couldn't do it. How many chances do you know? You know what I'm saying? You lost to Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, and you lost your second title to the freaking gain a vacated WBC belt. But now you're gonna get Erislandy Lara. I get it, bro. I get it. It's all good, man. It's all good. It's nothing I can't change. Combat asked a question. I found the answer provided by niggas who do rankings. He addressing me like I created the rankings. Man, I'm not addressing you like you created the rankings. I was addressing you for which the information you provided to the question I asked. So yeah, you went out there and asked the inquiry, but don't you find that a little bit too easy? A person of your boxing knowledge, don't you just find out you just cut corners just then? You use cliff notes? No, I want you to provide it in your own, words, bro. I just want it in your own words. Like, the copy and paste shit, no. I just felt that was a little bit of out of character for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? If everybody went up here and just typed in and put inquiries, I probably wouldn't read them. Real talk, I probably wouldn't read them, man. King Mitch, excellent work, my brother. You using your resources. Hey, listen, I want everybody to use their resources. This is all good. Use your resources and whatever God bless you with. Real talk. But I do like to be educated myself. And most of the topics that I speak on, I have to put in those same inquiries, right? I utilize the search engine resources, just like the people that's in the chat. I have no problem submitting inquiries, man, and reading and doing. I have no problem. I have to. But when I see it floating in the chat, I'm more so looking at someone, who can read that information they just searched on, and I'd rather put them in what their opinion of it. This is their opinion, not line for line on what they, on the information they returned off a request. We all know the rankings can be bullshit, but we all know they do this shit often. They use whatever they want to use to place guys where they want. I get it, bro. Listen, I get that, man. Hear me out. I get it. But I'm just trying, my topic is DSG, Danny Garcia, man. I want to know how and why he was able to slide the way he was up into 160 for a title shot. I'm not saying it never happened. You don't see anything in my title that's asking, oh, this is just strange right here. This is uncommon. This never happened before. I never said that. All I want to know is pretty much the reason behind the travels. If we can define what the footprints are for and the destination, that's all I'm good, bro. I'm good on that. That's all I'm saying. I'm good. Real talk. I'm good. So in between time, all I want is for you all to, along with myself, is to try to figure out the reasoning behind Danny Garcia leaving the welterweight division under no high circumstances. It wasn't like he had a championship on his name or he upset Errol Spence in their fight. He really has no glory that was with him when he left the welterweight division. And then he fought a fighter that has been inactive, for a period of time. We're talking about Jose Benavidez, a guy who after Terrence Crawford stopped him in the 12th round, I think that was back in 2018, he didn't return back to the sport to November 2021. And that fight was at 160. You know what I'm saying? And then his last fight, of course, was at super middleweight. That's drastic, or whatever's going on with him at the time and so forth. But yeah, when Terrence Crawford beat him, he was undefeated. But I can tell you, I don't think David Benavidez was the one that allowed him access to 160. They say, hey, you get up here, you beat David Benavidez, based off his resume alone, that's going to put you right in position at 160 next to Laura to get that fight you want. So let's see how it worked. Would it be his first fight of 2023? We'll see. We'll see how that works, man. I'm very, very curious as to how this is gonna play out. Danny Garcia is a good guy, man. I've seen him in person before. He's a good guy. I don't have nothing towards Danny Garcia. But if I do see him sometime soon, I am gonna ask him. Seriously. I'm definitely gonna ask him. At this point in his career, Danny Garcia fits the requirements to pop up in any rankings TV exposure. I hear you. But why isn't other fighters able to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes Danny Garcia special? He fought for a vacant title and all the other information I have been remediating in this live stream. What made him so special to the point where, you Mitch, you're going to say that the requirements to pop up in any rank is TV exposure. What are you talking about, TV exposure? Like, huh? What do you mean? I hasn't been stellar in his last division prior to moving up to 54 and 60. He was pretty much known, pretty much like Sean Porter. Sean Porter stepped up to the big fights. And, he didn't fare well in a lot of them. Yeah, he was able to beat Danny Garcia, but hell, they pretty much was on the same track. But he still gets the green check, right? He gets the green check. Everything is good. We're going to slide you into a championship position. It's fighters that's out here waiting for that. But I guess they have to be, a DSG, 2-division champion. Been in there with the big names and took a L and beat who he's supposed to beat. Danny Garcia pretty much defeated who he's supposed to defeat. Seriously. I give him that credit. He defeated who he's supposed to defeat. He defeated the Brandon Rios and the Adrian Granados. He did. And the Ivan Red Catches. He defeated them. He did what he's supposed to do at welterweight. I wish Terrence would have been able to fight him though. Because Danny Garcia's never been stopped before. And that fight is not too far out the window. It's not put to bed yet. Potentially they could fight before both of the fighters hang them up. They may fight at a higher division. You know what I'm saying? I would like see that fight happen. Seriously. What's going on, Fat Cat in the building, man? That's real. He said you got to know somebody who knows somebody. And I pretty much put that out there all the time. It's a connection. It's who you connected with. You definitely got to know somebody who knows somebody. And Al Heyman is pretty much, he's one of those fighters that got to see Al too. But I don't hear the disruption when it comes to Danny Garcia. It just seems like he is swift in these moves he's making. Like Danny, I can see why certain people like him because, he's not attached to a lot of drama. And you're definitely not going to see him on YTC. It just seems like he has a lot going on behind the scenes. He seemed comfortable. I know he has some businesses. And, he moves under the radar, man. He is swift. You know what I'm saying? He does move expeditiously. And he before you know it, he's up in the 160-pound divisions ranked. It's incredible, bro. It's incredible. You know what I'm saying? I want to get to the second half when the YTC capping goes wrong. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have been seeing the videos that's been out and everything of, once again, we're dealing with the shakeup at the 135-pound division, okay? I know I mentioned this on my live several times. I said, now that T.O. is gone, it's going to be the next man in play. And we seen the Bill Haney situation play out with Devin, with Shakur Stevenson. And I'm going to put it to you like this. Like, people have a bad tendency of just listening to everything that Bill says, and they want to nod their head. And then you get some people that's frustrated, like Skid Mark, who's pretty much, fed up with it. But not only that, on the outside looking in, you have people that listen, and they can go back, and they can get receipts to shit that was said before and bring it to the current and match it up and say, no, you didn't say this right here, you didn't say that. Listen, if somebody's mad about what Shakur Stevenson has said after his fight with Conseil, right? Why should they be mad? You know what frustrates the shit out of me? Is when black fighters are held to a standard. You came up in the amateurs, you did this, I ain't, I thought we was cool, this, that, the other. And then just because a guy you rock with and a brother you consider your family, y'all been rocking together for a long time, he's hyped up. You know what I'm saying? You always have one of those friends. They hyping shit up. So Keyshawn gets hyped up, and he's really putting it out there, and he was being forceful about it. That shouldn't have anything to do with Shakur Stevens and Devin Haney. And people have to understand, if they listen, the same thing happened in between fights with Kambosos. Rumor mill was going out here that Gervonta Davis shit. I said, you know what? These people are not going to learn when it comes to Bill Haney out here and that Haney talk. Let's call it the Haney talk. You know what I'm saying? They talking about Gervonta always talking when he have a fight. No. We can talk about y'all too. The Gary Russell Jr. situation when y'all had freaking Gamboa on the hook. Right? The Teofimo situation when Teo had the belts, it was just constant back and forth. Every time you turn on the motherfucker, channel or something, constant back and forth. Teo, Haney, Teo, Haney, who gonna do this, who what? But Teo, I'm on record as saying that Teo had the power. So Teo, utilizing his power, he chose his mandatory. Moving on. You know what I'm saying? They wanted something to happen. Moving on. Kambosos. He ain't nobody. He a bum, this, that, and the other. Blah, blah, blah. He chooses Lomachenko, like I told you. Nobody wasn't talking when he's saying, well, he's just looking. Truth be told, Team Haney was quiet as hell during that time because they didn't want to piss Kambosos off. They knew some shit was going on. They really wanted to fight. Real talk. They really wanted to fight, man. They didn't want Kambosos to choose somebody else because he had the belts just like Teo. So when they got the shot and they had to sign the contract, he went over there and won the first one. But in between time, people was going around here acting like he can get out of that rematch and fight Gervonta Davis. It was nowhere, shape, or form in this motherfucking existence that fight was going to happen. It's just another ploy to do free promo. And people was going around here acting like, oh, why don't he just, fight Kambosos? How? And Kambosos, the contract don't matter. The contract don't matter. It don't matter. He can do what he want. Why are they so big to talk about Crawford and Spence contracts? But yet, when it came to the Haney and freaking Kambosos, they was trying to say, oh, man, Kambosos, man, who cares? Boxing need to stop with that shit, dog. Either you're going to stay loyal to your integrity of the sport or just be reckless with it. You know what I'm saying? Just be a juvenile with it. So people know when you come around talking your shit not to believe it. They know damn well they couldn't unlock that contractual agreement between those two fights, especially if Kambosos was saying, I'm activating my rematch clause. Why would that guy in his own country, why he wouldn't activate it? He would look so bad in his country taking step-aside money. So there's no way they can get up out of that contract. But it was good publicity once again. So you beat Kambosos in the Aussie double, salute to them. It comes up now, people want to talk. Oh, well, now T.O.'s left the damn division. He's done. Can't bring him into the equation no more. Kambosos is not going to be in the equation no more because he went down 0-2. So all the talk we've heard Bob say, originally Teofimo, before he went over to the combat zone, it was going to be him. So they was going to reward him upon his return. People actually going to get on the panel and debate as if that fight is going to be an option. You actually going to think a Lomachenko dealing with Bob Arum now is going to be an option? Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, after Lomachenko came up with all those excuses for, losing to Teofimo Lopez with the shoulder and saying the judges was paid off, why would they give this man another shot? I mean, they still love him for his freaking who he is as a person, I guess. But no way, shape, or form, man, that they're getting out of that Lomachenko fight. Unless they vacate the title and go up to 140. It don't matter how much talk these lightweights are talking. It's all the same criteria. It's all the same behavior. All to build up a fight and get some talk and remain relevant in between fights. That's it. Wasn't nobody up here really talking that shit with Devin Haney facing Kambosos, because they really didn't respect Kambosos like that. He got Teofimo at a good time, but after he got washed in the first fight, nobody was saying shit. They was just looking for him, to go over there and do it again and then see what happens afterwards. But guess what, people? This is the same thing. He's not getting out of the fight with Lomachenko. He's not fighting Shakur Stevenson anytime soon. But make no mistake about it, Shakur Stevenson say, I'm down with the shit you talking. Make no mistake about it. I will fuck him up. Make no mistake about it. I'm a bad motherfucker. That's what he said. And look, people need to look at that shit just for being online. Good media type talk, good free promo, you know what I'm saying? Good live stream etiquette, you know what I'm saying? Good viewership, good quality topics, you know what I'm saying? It's good. It's good for TV, so to speak. It's good. But he ain't fighting Shakur Stevenson anytime soon. And then you're hearing Bill say, once Lomachenko's over with, they moving up. They ain't standing 135. Like, which one is it going to be? Are you going to hype up as if, Devin's going to stay here and fight at 135 for 2 more fights or not? If y'all hearing what he says, take it for thought, man. Take it for relevancy what he's talking. If he's saying, y'all, it ain't shit y'all going to do. At the end of the day, I'm going to look out for my nigga. His nigga being his son. I'm going to look out for Devin. Don't try to distort it. Don't try to think you're going to rephrase it and put it back out in your own words. I mean, if you want to do some clickbait shit, go right ahead and do some clickbait shit. It's fine. It ain't going to matter, because at the end of the day, I try to tell people, Bill is very savvy when he's on these platforms and these panels. He's very, very savvy. He's savvy to be able to be in a sport as long as he has with his son. He's not going to jeopardize Devin Haney unless it happens in the ring. He's not going to jeopardize him missing weight, right? Dropping the belts, and not going in the ring 100%. He won't jeopardize that. He really would like the money fights heading to 140 undefeated as the undisputed champion, so he can jump the line just like everybody else did and get a title shot with whoever that may be. If it's with Teofimo Lopez, if it's freaking Regis Prograis, if it's Josh Taylor, if it's the whoever, bro. Whoever. Now that is legitimate. He has all the belts. That's legitimate. He can transition from one division to another and get that title shot. But when we start coming up with all these damn scenarios and motherfuckers arguing on panels about a fight that's not going to happen, we have to be smarter than that. We keep on doing the same, not we, but YTC keep on doing the same retreaded, reciprocated energy all over again. And they really act like something's going to happen. When you start calling people bitch ass nigga, fuck you, did this. I'm like, why though? If you think Bill ain't telling the truth on some stuff, just tell him he ain't telling the truth on this, that, and the other. Or you mad at him about something, call him cap on what you think he's capping. Because he do be capping on some shit. Bill know he caps on some shit, but guess what? If you know for a fact that he's not fighting Shakur Stevenson, if you choose to know that and still engage in the conversations if he is, you like that dysfunctionality, bro. You love it, man. I swear to God you do. You love it like a mother. WBA, man. YTC is composed mostly cap, like the human body is mostly water. Man, the human body, if you basically was trying to attempted to transcribe the physical anatomy to the YTC, man, it would be a human anatomy full of diseases. You know what I'm saying? Diseases, infectious diseases, man. It would be fucked up. It would be extremely unhealthy there, Mitch. Medical requirement would be on demand 24 hours around the clock. Because the shit that goes on in here is just crazy. All this instigating on YouTube ain't going to produce any fight. It isn't. It's not going to produce any fights, but people want to be a part of something, and they want to pretend like they were the primary players, the role players, the shakers and the movers, man. They want to be a part of that. That's why they be invested. Look, if they have access to somebody like Bill Haney that loves being on these YouTube streets, the disrespect that these dudes give him, they don't understand. He truly don't care. The only time he actually give a damn to speak up, like when he shuts down his shit and going about his life, he's going into a place where only fight hype, from my understanding, has been. I remember back in the day, I say, man, you want to prove shit to me? Look. Let me disclose something that y'all haven't heard in a while, right? All right, because y'all heard fight hype was in there, right? Like, this is what I mentioned too. I mentioned this shit long time ago, and Skip Mark know I did. Bill know I did, right? This is what brought him to go over there and pull in Skip Mark and comfort him. When I told him, I said, man, Bill ain't invited you to the mansion. He ain't doing shit. You up here talking about Haney all the time. He ain't invited you. Listen to the live, man. It's out there. He ain't invited you to the freaking mansion. He ain't gave you exclusive. You ain't took no picture in his crib. He ain't invited you to a training camp for Devin Haney. He ain't did shit for you, bro. He ain't did nothing, but yet you talking about me. He's not provided you that access. Just like he didn't provide Devin Haney the access to come on his channel. I was trying to explain that shit way back, and that is the reason why Bill went over there and started fucking with him. Because for a long time, they were just on the outside looking in. They wouldn't even show up to his channel. Why? Because it's black people. They probably looked at it like, oh, this motherfucker dick ride. Let me see what he doing. Let me see what he talking about. And then when I said what I said, they say, you know, the brother, he out here supporting. That's before all this LDBC or nothing and all this shit. It was way before this shit. I was out here. He said, oh, the brother, you know, you try to get on the brother because he's supporting another brother. And you know how Bill talk. He's supporting another brother. And I heard what you said, that we ain't did this, we ain't did that. You know, the brother, I just thought, you know, that was a time for you to support the brother of what he was doing. I'm saying to myself, like, y'all ain't supporting him. Y'all trying to see what he about. So then all of a sudden, Bill starts showing up to Skip Mark's channel. That's fact. But Devin showed up one time in a little, a very impromptu interview, like a very quick, short interview. He wasn't really into it, and that was it. But as I mentioned earlier today, Devin said, hey, you've been trying to get me on this panel for the longest of time, and you don't let me speak. Playing the 50-50 part, I can understand where Devin's coming from, but I definitely understand where H is coming from. Real talk. Though I don't like him as a person, I can understand him being frustrated and done with it. Because this has been months upon months after months of this shit playing out on social media. So I get where he coming from with his frustration that he didn't want to goddamn hear that shit. Because after Devin told him that, man, he wasn't trying to hear shit. He was like, he was talking reckless to Bill. He said, man, Bill, you can get the fuck off. I get it. He's been through it because of other channels being included and providing the concierge service, the royalty, the special treatment and shit like that. And then for us to hear the fight hype was in there, I ain't mad at none of that shit. I'm not mad. He can choose whoever he wants to come into domicile. That's what that's them, bro. But they need to understand how smart Bill is, bro. They should stop playing like they dumb to it. And some cats just go in on them like they know everything, but really they just want to act like they have like the upper hand. You don't have the upper hand on him. He's smart, very street smart, and he'll fuck around with the puppies, dog. He'll come in there and pat you on the head a little bit, and then go on back about his business. The only time he really he'll start saying nigga, nigga. It's hilarious watching this shit, dog. But be aware of the cap. There's a lot of capping going on with this lightweight division. Shakur Stevens gonna have to fight somebody else, real talk. And when he says that he's about that shit, I believe him. Seriously, I believe him. So it's just funny how things have played out the way they did. Like, Skidmark was telling freaking Bill, you can get the fuck off my panel. But he'll never kick him off his panel. He said, we just talked to Devin. But see, when Bill leaves, Devin leaves. That's respect. When Pops leave, he ain't staying on there with them, didn't let him speak. And then you're going to have a person on there. He's, first of all, if the host supposed to be rocking hard with Haney, right? When Haney starts to talk, Devin, that other dude that was in there talking, he's supposed to shut up. Because the man haven't had enough time to have the floor. So once again, it's not something I care about. I just listen to it and I say, God damn, these are grown ass fucking men, and I can see why Devin never really came on the show. He gets on there and they don't even let him talk. And the live that he was on with Shakur Stevenson, it was just them three. It was Haney, Bill and Devin and Shakur Stevenson, and that went off just the way it's supposed to. It was lit up in there. It was over 1,000 viewers in there, and that's the way live's supposed to boom, boom, boom. It'll be good if more lives can go down like that, where you can have some big names go in there and talk that shit themselves. Because when you get some average people on there, all you get is yelling and screaming, bro. Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz some more. Salute to you, Bruce. It was hilarious, man. People don't know the history. That's the history. And Bill knows that's the history. He went over there because of me. Because I was goddamn going in on him. Because, he tried to, back then it was a T.O. hate campaign. These motherfuckers out there hating Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? And I was riding for T.O. I've been in his freaking fight, knew his team, knew a lot of shit that was going on with him. Had talked with him in Vegas, all that shit back then, before he even had championships, man. And all them cats was going for Lomachenko, man. All because T.O. wouldn't bow down to their request to fight Devin. You know what I'm saying? It was wild. It was wild. They disliked him. All this shit was senior. You can say whatever you want about T.O. and his pops. They're gonna ride or die just like Bill and Devin. What do you expect? Just like Danny Garcia and his father. They're going to ride or die, bro. What do you expect? You want them to stab each other in the back? No, they ain't going to stab each other in the back, man. Shout out to Reggie Owens, man. He was over there cooking earlier, man. That's why I was kind of late getting on, but that shit was hilarious, man. I ain't gonna lie. I forgot the dude that said, man, I can't go into it, man. That shit was funny as hell, man. Talking about the goddamn Tank Davis with weight, dog. That shit was, oh man, my stomach was hurting like a. Look, that shit was damn near as funny as seeing that shit with Ben Israel and shit being in the dark. You know what I'm saying? That shit was hilarious. But anyway, I just wanted to, talk about a boxing situation that I had on. My camera equipment, I use it for boxing most of the time, but every now and then I venture off and basically catch my lens with certain type of wildlife. You know, Showtime can attest to this. Me and him both, you know, are photographers, you know, slash, you know, journalists and everything like that. So I had some camera equipment, and every now and then I have to go out into the general public and try to get ready for a fight and take some pictures and everything. So you see some weird stuff, bro. You know, it's good to have a professional camera and a nice lens to get this shit up close and personal, be able to zoom in and all that. I mean, you see some very, very amazing pictures out there. So in the process of that, I ran into this sighting, right? That I was saying to myself, this is something that's different. It's not uncommon, but it's different because you rarely see them like in a city area. You know what I'm saying? I'm mostly orientated around taking boxing pictures and all that. You rarely see them in a city area. And this is the picture that I caught. You know, I was able to take this picture right here, and I was amazed at how clear it came out. See, I didn't really edit the picture. That's just the raw. You know, when you run into stuff like this in the city, I was like, wow, I couldn't believe I picked up this picture of this creature doing a flip in the city. You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, that's unbelievable. And I say, man, this is a friendly little guy right here. You know, let me name him. So I named him Willie the Munchkin, right? And I actually, you know, took a picture, and some other people was like, hey, yeah, he's down here all the time, this, that, and the other. I say, oh, I haven't seen him, you know. He said, yeah, he comes down, he'd be on the corner doing flips and stuff. You know, they be tossing money into the cap. I said, where's his owner? He said, no, he's pretty domesticated. So I went up to the local grocery store and everything, picked up some fruit, came back, you know, split it open, you know, cut it open and everything, hand fed him and all that. Pretty wild, feral type creature. You know, you could tell he's been running wild for a long time. So I put some fruit in the hat too with the money. You know what I'm saying? Bought some Ziploc bags, put the fruit in the Ziploc bags, put it in the hat. And, you know, I had some coins in my pocket, so I dropped him some coins. But, you know, I just wanted to share that story because it's like, it's amazing what you see out here in the streets, right? And me capturing this picture right here, I was like, that's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? That I'll see something like this in the ATL. I see a lot of weird stuff down here. But when I saw Willie up here doing flips and shit, you know what I'm saying? And people was gathered around. I was like, wow, look at the little fella go. Look at the little fella go. You go. Wow. You know what I'm saying? You are amazingly talented. Look at you. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And look, I didn't tell you this part. Before I was hand feeding him, right? I always carry a pistol on me, right? It's not the pistol you think, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm going into an area where I know I'm going to run into wildlife, I gotta have this pistol that's like a paintball pistol with a dot on it. And I had my hand behind my back because I didn't know if this little scrappy little motherfucker would jump, and I have to put his ass down with some paintballs. So I didn't see if I didn't remember if I had the red dot on, but obviously I did. And when I was trying to hand feed it, it wouldn't come closer to me. It's just looking at it with them big ass eyes. I said, damn, why this motherfucker not coming close to me? It was a smart ass motherfucker too. I was like, okay, he must think this is some spoiled fruit or something, or I'm gonna goddamn stump him out or something. Why would he be acting like this? And then I looked down and I seen the red dot. I said, oh, he see my hand. You know what I'm saying? Because these type of creatures are smart. He saw my hand behind my back and that red dot on the ground. So I guess somebody else had probably did that to him, you know, in his life, that he saw that red dot and he got too close and they unleashed on his ass. So I got them cut the motherfucker off. You know what I'm saying? Put the shit up. Reached my hand back out there again. And he came out here and took the shit from me. I said, okay. That was cool shit, you know. That's a smart little domesticated little creature there. But the bad thing about it is, I guess somebody took him in. Real talk, somebody took him in. And that's when it became a little bit weird for me. I found out somebody had been teaching this dude, this creature, how to use a computer. And when I heard it for the first time, I said, no, this can't be true. They said, yeah. The picture that you put out there, he's actually able to use a PC now. He's actually learning how to speak English pretty good. And I had to see for myself. I went over there. I said, dang, this is his channel? Okay, cool. I was checking him out and everything. I said, wow, they tell him pretty fast. How did that happen? They must have put him around other creatures, his own kind, for him to learn that quick. Because I don't think he'll be able to, order the program Hooked on Phonics or anything to kind of, speed up his learning curve that he had from being out on the streets and living as a feral. You know what I'm saying? As a wild creature out there. But one time I was going over there and I was listening, and somebody shot me a link and they said, hey man, Willie the Munchkin, did you do anything to him? I was like, no, not a thing, man. I don't get it. He said, oh, he was mentioning your name, like he was over there whining. I say, so this ungrateful motherfucker up here whining, I thought I gave him sliced apples. You know what I'm saying? Some sliced bananas. You know what I'm saying? I was extremely nice, man. Gave him some grapes. I threw some vegetables in there, some dry broccoli and carrots and stuff like that. So I really helped him out. But he was over there just talking. He was just rambling on about shit. I'm saying, bro, what's going on with this dude? As much as I did for you when I seen you out there, I didn't blast on you with the paint gun. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought, you wasn't that as domesticated as you turned out to be. But, yeah, it was a crazy situation, man. I said, dang. And then I heard him talking about Reggie. I said, how did Reggie come into this, though? You know what I'm saying? And then he had talked about Gumbo. I said, man, something's going on, something. I need to get to the end of this. You know what I'm saying? And then come to find out, I'm tying everything up, and I say, oh, the reason why he's upset is that these are individuals that have given something to him, and he's unable to get more of what they was given. You feel me? So that's what happened when, people used to go, and he used to be locked up in that cage, and people used to just slide stuff through the bars and run away, and then they'll come back after he finished it, and he'd be, standing over there with his hands, extended outside the bar. I think that's the PTSD that he has. You know what I'm saying? We didn't return to give him stuff that he was looking for, so he got mad and angry. You know what I'm saying? I guess he was looking for some type of donations, anything, clothes, food, you know what I'm saying, tutoring, you know what I'm saying, something, tokens, frozen freaking lunch meat. I'm not sure exactly what he was looking for, but if you see him running around here, just tell him that just keep on working at it. Just keep the people's name out of his mouth that doesn't belong there, who's not feeding him every day. If he want to go out here and do better for himself, just put himself in the company of better people. That's all I can tell you. Put yourself in the company of better people. You know what I'm saying? Learn how not to be so ignorant. Be better as a person. Execute your intelligence on a regularity and not your ignorance. Digress from your ignorance and saying the same thing over and over again and using homoerotic type insults to people. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want them to go get the other creatures that's just like you. You feel me? You don't want that to happen. You don't want them to send you back to the zoo. You're out here with humans, man. Stop yelling and screaming all the time and talking about people just because they're not up there going to the grocery store buying you extra fruit and veggies and stuff like that. That's not their responsibility. When you're out on the corner and you're working on your backflips, know that if they toss some coins into your hat, accept it, man. If it's not the light money like the cash or stuff like that, don't be upset about it. Don't worry about it. It'll get better as time goes along. More people will see you, doing the cartwheels, the backflips. You know what I'm saying? See you jumping up and down, screaming. They'll get used to it, and then more people will come see you. All right? Now, I'm going to tell you, once again, take it easy with calling out certain people's names for no reason, for attention. You don't want to do that. Don't make that happen. Just continue to do what you do. Like, dress the part. You know what I'm saying? I see from my last video where I mentioned your name, you somewhat ran into a barber. You try to clean yourself up, but we still know who you are. But it looks better with you blending in with, you know what I'm saying, with the civilians. You blending in with the regular civilians. You're trying to be normal. I like that. But the shirt you had on the other day seems like you just went back to just taking anything somebody give you. Like, you seen the black bag behind Goodwill. You pull that damn shirt out. You say, oh, yeah, I'll wear this for my next live stream. And that's where I'm at with it. I love it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We noticed that shirt was straight out the back of a donation of Goodwill. And you pulled it out of the damn black hefty bag. I get it, bro. Donations during the holidays is what you love to be a part of. So keep doing you, bro. Just know that I'm all about donations too. I'm all about giving you exactly what you need. So keep my name out your mouth and focus on you, man. Focus on being a better species of you. When you see me walking down the street with my camera, do a trick or two. I want to catch you in the moment like you see on the thumbnail. I love it, man. That is a grand moment. I want to put you on the thumbnail and goddamn get you more exposure so people can come check out your channel and, just give you that love that you're looking for. Not the dick pic love. You know what I'm saying? No. I expect you to have some learning curve somewhere, but bro, none of that. That's not cool. You passing around dick pics and stuff, that's not cool, man. That's not what we do as men. If you're doing it as men, that tells a lot about the mating process for which you wasn't on the top end of it. I get it. You was never the alpha in the pack. You was never the alpha. I get it, bro. But all the thing I want to do is wish you and the species around you a holiday season where we're actually in communication right now to try to drop off a box of just holiday items for you to bring in 2023, because it's gonna get cold out there. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna bring you about some items, man. Some nice thick jackets. You know what I'm saying? Some thicker socks. Shit like that. Because it get cold out there. You all up in the tree and shit, hanging out all day. That shit can get tiresome. You can slip out. You know what I'm saying? Hurt yourself. We just want you to be very, very well layered, comfortable. And we went up here and bought some whistles. Okay? So when you hear that whistle, that means we're in town. We're close by. So make sure you where you're supposed to be so we can dump you off these care packages and return back to our home space. That's all I want to do, man. Anybody in the chat have any questions? You know what I'm saying? Before I get out of here, I just want to end on that note. I just want to put that out there. Really, it was just a grand time for me seeing all that, for real. Man, listen, I'm all about helping and giving back to the community, real talk. And even, when I see the Willie the Munchkin, I didn't think he was, they say he was down in Atlanta, but when I saw the news trucks, they were showing this person flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping, and he was screaming and shit all over the place, and people were feeding him. I said, damn, I need to go up here and donate too. So just stay close to the situation, man. Real talk. I was thinking about posting this thumbnail on IG, you know, to really kind of get some exposure so people can, next time he's out there tomorrow, that y'all can stop by and kind of donate your clothes. Like any old clothes that you have, you know, donate to Willie the Munchkin, man. That's really very, very important. We want to show positivity around here in the YTC. When people call your name, you want to make sure they understand that they've heard you. I've heard you loud and clear, and I'm going to respond. So the love that I'm reciprocating back to Willie the Munchkin, I know right now he's feeling all warm inside. He's ready for Christmas. And that's my whole point for putting him on the thumbnail like that. I wanted to show my appreciation for catching him in a backflip, you know what I'm saying, down here in the city. The guy has, you know, a different type of personality. It's an acquired personality. You can't get too close. He still has some ways to go, man. Some learning curves to get over and shit like that. But overall, man, he's trying to blend in heavy. Really, he's trying to blend in heavy. Even to the point where, you know, somebody's taught him how to smoke. And I'm saying to myself, damn, you know how to smoke already. But anyway, man, y'all hold it down. Appreciate you pulling up. All y'all, appreciate you pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Continue to support the channel. Willie the Munchkin, keep my name out your mouth. I haven't even been saying anything about you. I gave you the fruit and the veggies that you look for, and it still ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? So y'all hold it down, man. Continue to support the channel. And turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. I'm out.